This is the second edition of the Pigskin Press Talk podcast. Wesley Herring joined again by Fayetteville State head football coach Kenny Phillips. Coach, new week. It's a lot better than it was last week. You get your first win of the season, and I know you said in the press conference the other night you're a lot more relieved. It's got to be a good feeling to know that you're heading into this week after your first win.
Oh, yes, I always get that bad feeling out of the bottom of the stomach from the first two games that we played in the season, knowing that you had an opportunity to win football games and you come up on the other end of the stick. But it was a great team win for Saturday night against I thought a very good Virginia Union football team. I thought that after the football game and looking at those guys, they were a lot better football team than they were a year ago.
And then not only was Virginia Union, a good football team, but they were also ranked third in the Heritage Sports Radio Network poll. So as you mentioned, a good overall win for your team. Yes,
it gives us some momentum coming into our first conference game this week against Coach Tillett and the Vikings of Elizabeth City, which we've had a hard time beating the last 4 opportunities that we played those guys. So we got to get that wheel turned in our favor this weekend.
And then looking at Elizabeth City State, they're in the same kind of situation you guys are. They started out the season 0-2, got their first win of the season last week in exciting fashion. But then kind of looking back to last year, they played in the Pioneer Bowl. So overall, they are a good team, and it's going to be a big one for you opening CIAA play this weekend.
Yeah, he's been rolling the last 2 years, and the last 2 years he played in Division II playoffs and played in the championship game over in Durham. It'll be another tough challenge for us as a football team, in that they got one of the premier football players in Division II football, in the McNeil kid. I think he's a Harlan Hills candidate for this year. I know he's on a couple of preseason American teams, so he had 147-yard rushing against us last year. So we got our work cut out for us in stopping this guy. And then on the flip side, offensively, we got to continue to be able to move the football to keep us off the field defensively, and we got to secure some things up in our special team this week. But I think our student athletes are now understanding that going into the fourth game, we've made a drastic improvement from the first game, the second game, and then Saturday night, which I thought was a great team win for us. That they understand what it takes to win now.
So you go from having to deal with Jarrell Washington of Virginia Union to Durante McNeil of Elizabeth City State. Are there any similarities between the two?
Not at all. The kid from Union, a little shifty back, small in stature, but very, very powerful, quick runner. The McNeil kid is going to stand 6'2", 215, 220 pounds, and you're going to have to hit this guy to get him down, where the other kid, you could kind of bump him and knock him off his feet a little bit. This one, you're going to have to put your pads on him.
And looking back last week, Washington did get his yards, but your defense also held Virginia Union to just 4 completions on 20 attempts. So you kind of made a one-dimensional. It's got to be good knowing that your secondary stepped up so you could concentrate on the run game.
Well, it'll be a little bit different this week. I think the quarterback from Elizabeth City throws the ball a lot better than the young man from Virginia Union. So it's going to be definitely a challenge for both to be able to try to get them one dimension, which is always our game plan. First thing you want to try to do is make sure you hold up against the run. That way you can kind of control what they do in the passing game. So with Elizabeth City, the quarterback has done a very good job in throwing balls down the field this year. So we got to be on top of our game this weekend.
And then on the offensive side of the ball for you had 2 running backs last week, both make a tremendous impact on the game, Colin Bailey and Andre Montgomery. So it's got to be good knowing for you that now you've got 3 running backs that you can go to during the game at any time.
Well, that's always been a positive. I thought that coming into the football season, that would be one of our strengths on offense, being able to run the football. We're still, with those young guys, they still kind of feeling their way around to understanding the game. And, of course, with Bailey's a seasoned veteran that, was second-team All-League last year. So it was great to see him get back into season form this past weekend and what we did in the fourth quarter against a very good Virginia Union football team.
Passing-wise, you didn't throw for a lot of yards, but you were very pinpoint when you did pass. You only threw 2 incompletions, and you got a touchdown pass from Chauncey Concepcion on that little screen pass to Cason Williams.
Well, I think that anytime anytime you can have success running the football, you really don't have to throw the ball a lot. I think that, when you look at it, if you're able to run the football, you have a lot of success because you can pick and choose when you want to throw the football. And I think that, both our quarterbacks are very good passers. Andreas has a tendency to hold on to it too long. You need to get rid of the football, and I think that's what happened to him Saturday night when the two fumbles and get the ball out of his hand. And Johnson's done a very good job since the first game and making sure that he throws the football where he needs to throw it.
And then, again, you get another touchdown either on special teams or defense. Michael Johnson getting his first interception of his career, and he returns it back 62 yards for a touchdown. And it gave you, and it was a big momentum change because they were leading at the time, and that gave you a 14-7 lead.
Well, that was a definite big football play, being in the right place at the right time. Of course, he and I had an inside joke on that one to where he was supposed to be. But, sometimes being in the wrong place at the right time can give dividends, and I thought that he did a great job in getting the ball and then breaking loose from the tackle and getting the ball in the end zone. And those are the things that we stressed during the week about big plays, having an opportunity to make a big play and get the momentum change to where we can continue to fight as a football team.
And Johnson, not only with that interception, was one of your team's leading tacklers. Bryce Williams, linebacker, your senior, had the team leading 10 tackles. It's got to be good. You've got a senior leader at the linebacker position that can step up and be that leader.
Well, I've been coaching him now 3 years, and I think that he finally understands where he needs to fit in the defense. And if he continues to go at the rate he's going, I think he's going to have a great year. If nothing happened injury-wise to him, and with another one of those great years like some of the linebackers in the past in this defense.
And then before we let you go, you got anything you would like to just kind of mention as kind of a little wrap-up? You can go ahead and do that.
Well, I think that one of the guys has been a great surprise for us this year has been Antonio Mayo, our kicker. He's done a great job in kicking the football for us this year. And with him being able to do what he's doing, kicking the football, if he continues to kick the football the way he kicked it, I think we got a chance to be a very good football team.
And with him being only a sophomore, you still got him for another couple of years.
Yeah, he's done a great job. We call him. I'm going to start calling him Ice Man. He's the only kicker I know don't have a kicking net on the sideline. Just jump us off the ground and go run out there and kick a field goal.
All right, thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you next week.
Thank you.
And that was head coach Kenny Phillips. Just a reminder that Saturday night is Military Appreciation Night at Gerald Stadium. All individuals with military ID get in for $10, and then all active military can get their tickets on post. So for Wesley Herring, we'll talk to you next week for the Pigskin Press Talk podcast.